I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, and this is the Doctor's Guide podcast, raw and unfiltered, bringing to you any of these insights or action steps that you might want to take as you relate to what's going on in this podcast. Because the truth is that we all face, or most of us face, I think, all sorts of issues, whether they're health, physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, whatever that is. But how is it that we get access to the right information to understand what we actually can do to resolve that problem? And with so much information out there, what are you going to do, right? And how do you actually trust some of that information, whether it's a product, a service, an idea, a way of life, right? And so rather than promoting a product or a person, this show is all about sharing with you the process by which you can make better decisions for yourself. And so how do we do that? Well, we actually do some role play. I've been doing this for quite some time. It's a lot of fun. It's entertaining, and it may relate to them, the individuals who are doing the role playing or not. They may be reenacting their own experience, or somebody else, or simply something that they're aware of, simply to serve you today. And so you might get triggered by something, and that's okay, because in this world, I'd rather get triggered so I know what to do next versus just enabling me to stay stuck in the situation. And I'm all about helping people and serving people at the highest level to help them with a process by which they can find the freedom of the things that are slowing them down or keeping them in a stuck state. So the role playing is that one of them will share a specific problem, and then the other will guide them to some sort of resolution. We'll do that for about 6 minutes. Then afterwards, we'll unpack that. But first, we have to introduce these amazing individuals. I just already had an amazing show with them previously, and they're so dialed into peak performance and optimum health. You're going to want to listen in very carefully to who they are, because you just might want to seek their help as well. So let's start off with Elizabeth. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? Anything you want to share with us? And then we'll go with Bella. Elizabeth, who are you?
Hey there. Thank you so much for having me. It's just an honor to be here. I am Elizabeth Campbell. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a holistic health and life coach. I have a background in competitive bodybuilding, and through my own health challenges and my own health journey, I came to be where I am today. Just because I found a true purpose and vision for helping other people navigate through their health challenges, whether it be mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. I truly believe that your health is your greatest wealth. So if you can't, or if you're challenged or stuck in a certain area of your life, that could be blocking, other things that are showing up for you in your life. So we kind of go from the root cause healing to help you achieve your full potential.
And I love it because you are one that can speak to that. Actually, both of you can, because you're past athletic performance at the highest level, knowing what it takes. And so no one can tell you, well, you're not walking your talk, right? You've done that, you know what it takes. And you can also relate to the real world that you potentially have experienced or know others have experienced. So you're the real deal, as is Bella. So Bella, who are you as well?
Hey, thank you so much for having me here. My name is actually Isabella, but I go by Bella. I am originally from Brazil. I played tennis since I was 7 years old. I grew up as tennis being my guidance. And then after going through college, graduating, getting married, a lot of times I actually graduated from business management, but I ended up becoming wellness and life coach after going through my own transformation, leaving my home after divorce and quitting my full-time job, and now focusing 100% on mentally, physically, and emotionally helping people feel better from inside and out with different strategies, coaching sessions, retreats, masterminds, and programs designed to help people feel better. So with that being said, I am honored to be here and share some of the tools and resources that have guided both me and Elizabeth into a better mindset and a better body condition and better emotional stability.
And one thing I have to compliment you right away, because I've only known you for a very short period, but your level of understanding, your skill set and your intuition is some of the highest that I've seen, that it takes other people, 30, 40 years to attain. So my compliments to you, and for the listeners, this is a great gift for you today. And so once again, we're going to start with the role play. This is an interesting topic that unfortunately too many people in this country are afflicted by. And again, if you're triggered by this, my hope is that you can lean into it and see if you can uncover a process that might support you to find some resolution to this. And today we're talking about depression. And Elizabeth is going to do the role playing. It doesn't mean that she's depressed, doesn't mean that she's had depression, but she's very aware of this topic and how to navigate that and help her clients too. And Bella will act as the coach. So go ahead, Elizabeth. We have about 6 minutes, and then we'll unpack what just happened.
Awesome. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I want to hear more. How did you hear about me? What are you looking for? Tell me more about your journey.
Yeah, so I've really just been in a stuck place in my life. I feel like nothing really is working out for me. I'm trying to get healthier, but I feel depressed and I just can't get out of it.
So can you please unfold for me, when did it all started? What was the moment where you felt that that was actually your condition?
Yeah, so I'd say it's been a couple years. I went through a divorce, and then that took a toll on me, and I wanted to get better. I wanted to get healthier. We had some codependency, so wanted to break that cycle and pour more into myself, but it's just been hard. I haven't been able to feel good in my body. I don't know if the workouts are working for me. I just don't really have a lot of friends in my life either. It's just been challenging.
Did you seek any help after the divorce?
I tried therapy, but it didn't really work really well. So yeah.
Do you have a good support system currently around friends or family? You said you don't have that many friends, but do you have anybody that you can count on or rely on?
I have a sister. She's there for me, but she lives far away. So we try to stay in touch when we can.
Awesome. And so that's great that you have somebody to rely on, and hopefully you can lean more into that help and know that there's people out there for you that love you and cherish your existence. So remember that. But not only that, I want to go deeper on this divorce situation. Would you mind sharing more about what exactly happened and how was that journey?
Yeah. Well, he cheated on me, so I had to make a decision to walk away. I realized that wasn't what I wanted to stay stuck in. And yeah, it was like my whole world and my identity shattered.
Awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that. I just really, I hear you, I understand you, and just know that there are a lot of people going through very similar situations, so you're not alone. But most importantly, for you to understand that this is a proven situation to look inside. So I try to say that pain means pay attention inside now. Mm-hmm. So is the ability for you to look deeper inside and find some of the answers. They're still yet to be discovered. And there's a beautiful journey to be unfolded once we actually are heartbroken or we experience some sort of loss in our life, in our family. That's just part of the human existence, but how we approach it. I'd love to discuss more with you when it comes to what does that pain look like for you? How long have you been going through this journey, and how can we start transitioning towards a better lifestyle for you?
Mm-hmm. So you're saying how long have I been in this journey?
In this painful situation?
About 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. So I personally went through something similar, and I'm here to be very vulnerable with you because after my personal divorce situation, I also was cheated, and I realized that a lot of the answers I needed to seek and take full accountability for my life. And I know that sounds difficult to do, but there's a lot of mental barriers that we can break together if you allow me to give you the space to do so. So finding self-love as the source of your actions would be the first step. So waking up with this disposition to be alive, to be happy, to find healthier habits that you can rely on, whether it's to drink more water, go for walks, see the sun, call somebody that you love, even if it's just your sister, or just be able to go out there and remember that life is a journey. So whether it is ups and downs, we know that it's learning how to surf that is going to take us to another dimension. And I believe in you. I know that you have a lot of love inside of you. And I love to see that side of you shine every single day moving forward. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I wanted to ask you another question, right? So what does your routine look like now, and how can I help and support you in getting better?
Right now, I try to get in a workout when I can, but sometimes I'm just too tired. So sometimes I just hit that snooze a couple too many times. So then I go to work, usually go to a work event after work, and whether it's a happy hour or, corporate event. And then I get home and I make dinner, and then I go to bed.
How are your eating habits right now? Do you eat well? Do you have trouble with that?
I try to get in at least, 1 or 2 meals a day. So I'm just so busy. I work all the time. I just, trying to fuel myself. But usually it's pretty quick. I try to get things on the go, or I eat out, it's quick.
We have 1
Awesome.
minute left, guys.
I'd love to provide you with a nutrition plan, because as you know, a lot of our hormones are more balanced when we have healthier habits, when we're feeding our body with the right foods. So that's going to help you get out of the mental space. But also just practicing gratitude every morning. Wake up with 3 things that you're grateful for your job opportunity, for the connections you have on those networking events, and for also the ability to move and breathe. That could be enough for you to be grateful for. And the more you practice those things, and maybe saying a couple of words in front of the mirror, how much you love yourself, how much you admire yourself, or even being here today, that's a proven record that you're worth your life. And you should address that way. So gratitude, self-love, and eating better is going to help you right now at this stage. And then we can work on maybe exercising in the future. But for now, let's focus on those 3 things. Okay?
Okay, that sounds great. I'll try that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. So for you, Elizabeth, what was that all about?
That was great. I think having Bella dive deeper into more of like the emotional components, and then offering, especially in such a short amount of time, like offering some help and some insight as far as what I could do to change those things, like small steps that I could literally implement today, that could make me potentially, and hopefully, they will make a better life for me. So I really liked how you did that.
What was that for you, Bella?
It was really inspiring, because I also saw in her eyes the emotions changing, right? So it was cool to witness that. And that's what, my goal was, to transfer her from a space of pain to a space of faith and hope, which we start getting when we actually have steps to take. We have a path. And that's why I wanted to leave her with 3 things that she can apply today. Because a lot of times in our mental space, we can only focus on 3 things at a time, right? 3 steps. So that's why I wanted to give her 3 small things that she could work on at the moment.
Yeah, and it really all comes down to, being a guide, right? How do we guide people towards a resolution or solution or an outcome or goal that they want? And so I know you guys did a wonderful job, first of all, for dropping in, second of all, for being so vulnerable. And this is particularly a difficult topic for people to even talk about, to even consider, because there's so much shame, there's so much guilt, there's so much other stuff that's going on. And the truth is that with some simple steps, a lot of this can be resolved. One of which is just eliminate sugar from your diet. That might make a big difference. But people just don't understand that. And so once again, finding people like yourselves that have the empathy and the skill set to dial into a deeper level, and obviously this is just 6 minutes, so you sped up that process, obviously, but you got a wonderful result as well. And so I commend, both of you for doing that. So why don't you share a little more about what you've seen, what you're experiencing, what kind of other insights people might have, as well as understanding how our physiology takes a major role in how we actually feel.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when it comes to physiology in our bodies, you have your gut is essentially your second brain. So the foods that we're nourishing our bodies with can affect how we function, like our whether or not we have clarity, brain cognition, brain function, how we feel, how we act, how we do things in life. Like all of that can be directly correlated to the things that we eat. And so also to that point, like your physiology can be directly changed by the state of being that we're currently in. So oftentimes when we're in a lower state or a lower vibration, to get ourselves out of that state oftentimes can be or the best ways to do that is to move our bodies, because that's going to directly impact the physiology in our body. So whether it's getting a walk in outside, just getting up, doing some jumping jacks or some squats, whatever is accessible to you, to directly change that physiology in that moment, so that hopefully you can continue that momentum or that motivation longer term. So instead of leaning on that or relying on motivation, it starts to create more of a habit, so that you can actually become more disciplined in your daily life. So I would say those two things, just the food that we eat and the movement that we bring into our daily lives, can be a huge step into seeing change.
Now, I forgot to warn the listeners to get a notepad and a pencil, because I hope they're taking notes, because everything that you say is really critical in all that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. Bella, what else did you want to share as far as insights or action steps that people could take? And I like the fact that you kept it easy, because once again, people get overwhelmed. And if it's too much, and full transparency, I have a habit to be what I like to call multi-dimensional. And so what that means is I like to be in a lot of different places doing a lot of different things at the same time. And so sometimes that gets a little overwhelming. And so then what happens is I have to cut out certain things. And certainly when it comes to my health, I kind of ignore it. And then after a while, it gets painful. And then I think to myself, okay, well, I'm multidimensional. I can bring a whole lot of things all at once and do it all at the same time. And then ultimately and immediately fail at doing any of them because it's just too much. And I think a lot of people have that happen too. So keeping it simple is the solution. Bella, what else would you like to share?
Thank you for that. So I would like to share the process that we actually go through in our consulting business, right? When we guide people, we guide them into 3 phases. So the first one will be self-realization, is a process of actually identifying what's happening with more awareness into what is going on in their mind, in their body, in their soul, right? A lot of times having more clarity instead of going through the autopilot can also help us just stay still for a minute and figure out what's actually the issue, so we can start addressing it. The second point is the process of actualization. And just keep my mind for a second. So actualization is the process where we actually dive deep into taking action. So now is actually creating the plan, the framework, where we're going to start adapting what we have learned on the first phase into the second phase, is the integration part, right? So we can start creating more actionable steps, but also confidence in the steps that we're taking, having more belief in the process, trust in the process. And then the final step, which is the optimization, is when we actually get to a better lifestyle. We can actually see the results of what the work has been going through. So we see the byproduct as not just for the 3 months, but for a lifetime, because that's our goal. We don't want people to just change for 3 months. We want them to go through such a deep process that they truly identify how can life can be much better mentally, physically, and emotionally from that standpoint. And they start understanding the idea of optimization, because is the high performance, the high levels of integrity that we have with ourselves that is going to guide us to a better and happier lifestyle.
I love it, and it's absolute commitment to doing the right thing, which we need that guidance because, with so many distractions in our lives, so many obligations and so many challenges, it's easy to kind of put aside what we think is less important. And oftentimes that's at the cost of our health. When in reality, as Elizabeth shared, your best wealth is your health, right? That comes first. But one thing I just learned recently, and I give credit to Sean Callaghy, and if you've been following him recently, you'll know that he does the 12 on 12. And so what he challenged us was to do the endorphin push. And how do we do that? Well, just do 12 press-ups or push-ups, I should. Pull-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks, and do that, at least 2 or 3 times an hour. And that pumps up the endorphins in your body, gives you a bump in energy and awareness and everything else. And so clearly those are cool things that we all can do. But I like what you're sharing because it sounds like you're developing a partnership. And within that partnership, you bring a lot of empathy, a lot of understanding, a lot of acceptance, and then also accountability in supporting your clients to move forward with enough flexibility to address their unique needs and abilities as well. It's interesting, as an example, for many people who have, say, physical limitations and then decide not to work out. Well, guess what? There's always a tool and resource that can help people even work out that are limited. And that is the blood flow restriction device that is out there that will allow you to even work out at a high level, even though you're not moving around that much. And so that's why it's important to find people like Bella and Elizabeth with so many incredible resources, but more importantly, the skill set and the empathy to support change. So I'd like to wrap it up with you, Elizabeth, first. How do people get a hold of you? And one final comment, if you like.
Yes, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for being able to share this amazing experience today. I would love to just, leave you guys with this idea that you have to be your greatest health advocate because you know your body best. And oftentimes when we're seeking out answers, there can be so much information out there that it can be hard to internalize or even make sense of it all. So finding just taking action so that you can actually reach out to somebody to find that support. And if it doesn't work out the first time, that's okay. Finding something else that can actually, so somebody that actually truly believes in you and truly believes in the change that you can make. So with that being said, my name is Elizabeth Campbell. You can find me on Instagram at Elizabeth_Campbell, like the soup. And then you can also find us online at rebornwellnesscoaching.com.
I love it. Thank you so much for that, Elizabeth. Bella?
Yes. So one thing I want to leave people with is the ability to change. And change is a choice. And once we actually change, we actually choose to change before the big problem arises, is when we actually become the CEOs of our lives. And we actually feel the accountability, feel the power that we have from within. And I encourage everybody to take the steps towards that rather sooner than later. But also you can find me online on Instagram, Be Fit by Bella. And like she said, on our website, I'll definitely encourage anybody to just check it out, see what we have to offer, just because you never know what kind of transformation you can go through, especially in this space where we all need accountability, we all need a community, we're seeking that space. So looking forward to hear from anyone.
Spot on. I thank you for those shares. And the truth is, there is no shortcut. We are not indestructible. We are not infallible. And we can do so much, when we are optimizing our health way in advance to any potential problem, because we're going to avoid those problems in the first place. And so just accepting the fact that you're going to get old and you're going to get stiff and you're going to have all these problems is the wrong thing. That's the wrong message that we are getting today, because here's the truth. We can have optimum health And it is about community. It is about the right resources. It is also about that accountability, which these two, Bella and Elizabeth, so eloquently have shared with us. And so my hope is, even if you're not in Atlanta, to connect with them, find out more about what they do, because all that information is shared. And I'm very much looking forward to the amazing work that they're going to be doing in the future, as well as to support us with these amazing apps that can help us optimize ourselves. I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, and this is the Doctor's Guide, raw and unfiltered, and we will be back. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.